Cultivating Authentic Universal Energy podcast. Join us, Lisa, Miliaresis, and Michele Balcastro, as we dive into the vibrant world of energy, intuition, and spirit. Our journey through mediumship, psychic insights, Reiki, and the magic of crystals is not just about exploring the unseen. It's about connecting deeply with the universe and ourselves. Lisa is a seasoned medium and author, and she brings the wisdom of her books, being light-driven and spiritual guidance, trusting the voice within, to life. She teaches us to embrace our intuition safely and joyfully. Michele, a sensitive intuitive, and the soul behind the Violet Butterfly Metaphysical Healing Center, shares her journey from her spiritual awakening to creating a sanctuary for others to discover and nurture their spiritual gifts. Together, we're more than just co-hosts. We're guides on this adventure into universal energy, sharing our experiences and the transformative power it holds. We are thrilled to invite you to our first ever CARE retreat in Safety Harbor, Florida, this April from the 19th to the 21st. If you'd like to dive deeper with us, you can visit Lisa at tocommunicate.net and Michele at thevioletbutterflymhc.com. Let's embrace the energy together. Lisa.
Hello. How are you? Good.
Oh, I'm doing okay. How about yourself?
Doing well. Hopefully we can work through this delay a little bit.
Yeah. So you're in Greece again for the summer.
Yes, I am. I'm in beautiful Greece.
How's
But
the
I hear
weather?
Florida's doing very well too. It's hot but beautiful.
Yeah, we have been super hot here in Florida. Our rain has started a little bit more, which is good. Um, but I don't know if you experienced this at your house, but when it's super, super humid outside in the morning, I get condensation on my windows. And that's typically not a thing that happens until very late in the summer, but we've already been experiencing that. So very, very
Mm.
warm.
Global warming, I think.
It's something. So, we've had a lot of changes and shifts and challenges going on, even down to our internet connection being challenging this morning.
Yes, but we also were talking about it's okay to slow down. So I think sometimes we need to just accept the challenge and take a look and see what we can do with what we have to adjust or correct or do something to move forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that
So,
our
sorry.
top.
We'll figure out this delay and not talk on top of one another this entire podcast, I hope. But if we do, it certainly isn't on purpose.
Right.
So, most of you know from listening to some of our previous podcasts that I have been having a heck of a time with my website, getting my online store back up and running, and just in general, figuring out how I'm shifting the Violet Butterfly from a physical space to one of no space. And I do have some positive updates, but it also plays into what's going on with me personally. So the website is up. The online store is not going, not yet. All of the work that I did, I've had to redo. And if anybody is following stuff like astrology, you know that we have a number of planets that are in retrograde or getting ready to go into retrograde. And typically, when you have planets that are going into retrograde, it's about re-looking at things, redoing things, slowing down, reassessing. So that's kind of what's been happening for me. Um, my online store has somewhere in the neighborhood of just under 3,000 items, which is
Mm.
huge.
Yes, I can't imagine data entry.
Well, so I started doing the data entry to recreate it, and then something went sideways again, and I lost the work that I had done. So I have sort of stepped back and I'm letting things settle and not getting myself all upset because at this point, I have to just recreate it from scratch. And I felt like, okay, well, maybe now is the time to sit on it a little bit, break it down, plan it, and then at some point in the future, work to execute in a good way, an efficient way, how to make it all happen. Um, but I even like on a personal level, Lisa, I've had challenges that have asked me to really look at what my priorities are. And business right now is not my priority.
Well, and thankfully, what had transpired a few months ago with the changes in your business led you to this time where you can actually not have that as an obstacle for you as well, because there's a divine timing in that, that it went to the online place, even though you're still putting that up online. There's a divine timing in all of that, which is unfolding. That's the only thing that I can say with this. The other thing I have that's a thought is that anytime we have a change or we have an obstacle, it's been communicated to me through that guided meditation I received that we know it's kind of like the imagery I was given was like our feet root into the ground like a tree, and we stay grounded and allowing our upper body and whatever's going on to move through the actions, almost like how the branches will sway in the wind, but yet the tree stays centered and rooted. So as we slow down, we can try to use our tools to stay grounded and centered as everything moves, actually pass, and then we'll be able to put it into place into the new um, parts that we want to take place. So you be getting rid of things and then putting other things into place. You get to decide what you want to keep and what you want to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
So, whether it be your health, you have to get rid of the parts that's not working and put in the parts that are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I pulled a couple of cards and I wanted to share the first one. So this is the Energy Oracle card deck by Sandra Ann Taylor. She is an author of a number of the decks that I have. I seem to be attracted to some of her work, and I haven't played around with this deck a whole lot. Um, I picked some cards earlier, which were clearly messages for me, but by the time I selected, oh, I don't know, my seventh, eighth, and ninth card out of this deck, I felt like those were ones to actually share. So the first one is
Okay.
rest and rejuvenation. This card is showing a young
Mm.
man sitting in a meditative state. Um, and I feel like this is showing us, validating for us that it's okay to take that space to honor what's going on and figuring out what our priorities are. But in order to do that, we need to slow down, make space, and listen to our inner selves. Like, what is important here?
I agree with you.
So it's funny, what just popped into my head is, that I work out on a regular basis. I go to the gym, I work out with a trainer. And my trainer has left my gym, which at first I was like, well, shoot, that kind of stinks. But I also knew that it was time for me to do
More
something
change.
different. Yes. So she hooked me up with another trainer whose primary specialty is mobility and stretching, which I have desperately needed for so long. And I've worked with this girl a couple of times now, and the difference in my body just focusing on mobility movements is incredible. So it's
Hmm.
showing me that there's another way to rest and rejuvenate, even physically with my workouts. It's literally an answer to prayers, having this opportunity to work with this girl come up, truly.
Well, yeah, the universe provides those opportunities as we slow down and we appreciate what's happening around, even though we're not in a good place sometimes with these changes. If we are aware and we listen, you can see that. I know as I've been on traveling, I can't do my normal routine that I normally would. And I'm like a cat when it comes to I want to get up a certain time, I want to take my bath, I want to meditate, I want to do my routine, I want to go for walks. So even before I left, I had a little procedure done on my leg and I couldn't walk for a month ahead of time. So totally been having to shift. Said at that time, you can find something else to fill its place and look at the opportunities that are there and say, okay, you can still find your peace, your balance within this time. And it's all perfect in that way. Like it's all perfect in divine timing for you to find this special time for mobility, to be able to work on that for yourself now, even in the midst of other challenges that are going on.
Yeah. So you pick some cards, right?
I did. Yeah.
What's your
Okay.
first card?
So I picked from the fairy deck. So the very
Okay.
first card, I also picked cards that I put away thinking that they were for me. And then I got the first one I picked from that one was about family, about being with family. It was all about family and I put it aside, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now I picked from the other deck and this one is about a windfall of money, advice or assistance from others, a very successful project, a happy change in your career. So it's about manifestation. To me, it's being able to work from my happy place here in Greece and to still do readings on Zoom and to still pick up from where like I didn't leave. Like it just you pick up where you left off type of thing. To me, it's not that it was a windfall of money, but it was a happy change in my career to be able to continue to do it the way I want to from anywhere in the world. So it makes me feel like the world is smaller, that we're all connected, and that to me makes me very happy. So on a personal level, I can relate to that in this card.
Mm-hmm. So my second card is indecision. It is a hooded figure standing at a crossroads, right? So which way do we go? And I want to look at the book on this one, um, and see what this says to us. And the first question it asks is, which choice to make? So this card marks the presence of two or more possible choices in your life. It shows you anxiously looking at two roads, wondering which will be the better choice. Yet you're standing still, feeling confused by the up and down emotions of your present indecision. You could spend days, months, or even years in this back and forth energy, all the while feeling your focus and your life force energy draining away. So, we've talked many, many times about baby steps and
Mm-hmm.
the idea of your next right action. Um, the idea with this card is to encourage you to release fear and move forward with courage and trust, and that you have the power to direct your own destiny now and always. So that goes along with the card that you were just talking about of manifesting your future. Like, you can paralyze yourself with indecision, not knowing what to do. And I can tell you that this card does apply somewhat to my situation right now. Like, I have all these great ideas on digital courses that I want to put together, but quite frankly, I'm afraid to act. It seems like such a big undertaking to create courses that will resonate with people. Um, so for me, this is a validation of sit down, come up with a plan, figure out how you're going to execute that plan, because planning is still action. If you have too many options, you are going to stay in a place of fear and you're going to stay in indecision.
Well, I love that. And I'm going to add a little suggestion for you
Mm-hmm.
is to just start the project with what worked for you before, currently, and in the future. Your guides will help you to make it applicable to whoever's going to come to that class, and it will be
Sure,
perfect.
sure.
Just go for it. Just go for it.
So
So,
here,
my sec, go ahead. I'm
sorry,
sorry.
I was just going to say that, I have been a part of some digital courses, as a participant with people that have done this for years. And, I can be very critical at times. I look at things from a very analytical perspective. And, there are some people that do digital courses really, really well. And that there are some that, my opinion, they don't do a great job, but they seem to be very successful. And I say all of this as a validation of you have to start somewhere. Like, regardless what
Mhm.
the project is, you're always going to have someone that's possibly more professional than you are because they have the resources to do it, but it's not an excuse to not act.
You should definitely act because it's driving you in that position, like you're feeling it from the inner beings of your bone. Your guides are telling you to move forward with this. So you should definitely take some baby steps, some action steps in it and see where it goes. I think you're being too hard on yourself, and go with the joy of doing it. Because when we were doing our retreat, when you would get into the point where you were putting the booklet together because you found what really worked and it just kind of flowed at that point. So, you just have to channel that a little bit, that little spot, and whatever it is you're trying to teach or put together, and it'll be fine. I really do believe that for all of us that are teachers, we attract to our classes, it's meant to be that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what makes a person successful. What is the determination to make someone successful? It's not the scratch.
Right. Well, and so much is perspective, right?
Hmm.
Like, you are looking at a situation from your perspective. It may or may not be the truth, like the ground truth. You may look at someone and think that they're super successful, but how do you measure that?
Right.
Yeah.
It's all about your perspective of that, correct, of how you measure that. So we're all individuals looking at things from a different angle. And I think if we take out just like the four agreements, and we take out the comparison. We're not going to compare, and just do what you're doing, almost like you're singing your song, because that's the way it is supposed to be. And then you'll take a step back and you'll look at it. And once you're all done or in the middle of it, if you're stuck or something, and just kind of look at it like you're an alien looking at it for the first time. And how does that look, or how does that feel? I think you've helped me learn how to slow down a little bit. Working with you has been beneficial for me in that respect, that I don't have to rush. I can take my time with it. I can slow down and I can look at things. And it's really helped me to be happier in my work, to be honest with you. So thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. So before we got off on that little rabbit hole, you were going to tell us about your second card.
Okay. So the second card, it's the Queen of Winter card. And it says, let go of people or things that no longer serve you. Now is the time to focus on your career. And then it says unmarried or divorced individuals. I don't know why it adds that at the bottom. I guess that means because you're not focusing on relationships, but you're focusing on your career. It's kind of a weird way to put it. But the idea is purging, getting rid of things that no longer serve you.
Yeah. That kind of comes in seasons for me. I don't know about you, but I have been in the process of getting rid of things that no longer serve me, even like going into my closet and like, okay, if I pull a shirt off of a hanger that has dust on it, maybe I haven't worn it in so long that I need to get rid of it.
Right.
Simple things.
Well, I'm a big believer in getting rid of things that we don't need anymore. Simplify things a little bit.
Mhm. So I want to take
And that
the
I
idea of
had
your card there and even apply it like for me career wise, right? So I in the past I I've told you this, I'm a recovering perfectionist. I am extremely ambitious, and I as a part of the changes that are going on right now in my life, I've had to reprioritize what is important to me. And I have found that that big drive right now for all things business has slowed down. Not that it's gone
Mhm.
away, it just isn't at the forefront. So being able to recognize that things shift for you, you haven't lost something, it's just changed.
Right. And change is good, and change is something that will always be the constant for all of us. So
Absolutely.
to be able to navigate that is key.
Yep, for sure.
What's your third card?
Oh, goodness. My third card is the fourth chakra, which is a heart chakra, and Archangel Raphael. So this card here kind of goes along with some of the things that you were saying. I feel like it was a validation of something you were saying earlier. It's about love, compassion, and self-acceptance. That's something I kind of have struggled with. And I think it's so the affirmation that goes along with this card, I think says it all. My heart center, my fourth chakra, is open to its perfect, healthy, and joyful state. The energy of love flows through me now. I live in love.
All right, well, I'll have my little picture there, that's fine. It's less of a lag is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. That's good to know. So I don't know where I got cut off. I was looking at your third card.
So what I was saying with the third card is this is about the fourth chakra and Archangel Raphael. It's um love, compassion, and self-acceptance. And the affirmation that goes along with it is my heart center is open to its perfect, healthy, and joyful state. The energy of love flows through me now. I live in love. And this is the card right here. Emerald
Cool.
green with a beautiful masculine angel.
That's nice. That will take that healing for all kinds of reasons, huh?
Absolutely. And, you were talking earlier about how I'm hard on myself, which, is something that I continue to work on. And I think that this card is a validation of, you know, appreciating all of the things that I bring to the table and loving myself for simply being and not for what I do and what I can accomplish.
So my third card is the Six of Spring. I can't show it to you because I took my video off, but it's a looks like a woman warrior on a unicorn, and it says, "Wonderful news is on the way. Smart choices that bring rewards, success, and public recognition." To me, the feeling of it just feels like keep up what you're doing and that your manifestations are coming true. That's how it feels to me. And I think
Nice.
that goes for you, for me, and for the cosmos, because it's very challenging right now in society with a lot of change going on, of a lot of noise going on that's disheartening things to see. But what we don't see is all the good that's also going on. And what we don't hear about are the good things. So just, stay on the course. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to, readjust, stay rooted at the same time, but then focus on the things that you want with joyful action steps. And I think those manifestations are there for all of us.
Yeah. Yep. We just have to stay focused for sure. It's easy to get sucked down a rabbit hole of confusion and negativity. And maybe that's partly what my second card is, the whole indecision card. It's like you can choose how you react to any situation. You can choose to look at things from as much of a positive, optimistic view as you have a choice of looking at it from a pessimistic view.
Our guides really help us during these times. And personally, so coming up on the 20 years of sharing in this business, I asked my guides how I should do that. How should I do that with the public? And they told me to share my knowledge. So in that, I've been taking every week a little insight, whether it came from meditation experience or just some of the channeling, and I've been putting it together. But what I didn't share with people is it's really helped me by doing that. So I do this to share it with everyone else, but at the same time, it's nurturing my soul just to be able to revisit these things and revisit these knowings and these experiences and share them all over again. So when we listen to our guidance, there's really an unfolding of healing that takes place that's beyond our imagination because we don't see it all. So you have to trust and have faith that it's working. And I think if you make that connection and contact with them, it will only help you.
Absolutely. That time to just rejuvenate in, quiet in your meditation, to be able to be in a spot where you hear their whispers.
Well, I think
So,
that's all I have to say on the subject today.
okay. Me too. I have an idea for something else, but I'll wait until the next time we chat to bring it up.
I
Because
hope
I
our
think,
connection's better. I'm sorry about that.
yeah, today's been a little bit challenging, but stuff happens, and it just
Mhm.
challenges us to work with what is being presented to us. Thank you for listening. We'd love to hear from you about your experiences. Leave us a comment below. You can find more information about Lisa and her offerings on her website, communicate.net. Michelle's shop is the Violet Butterfly Metaphysical Healing Center in Palm Harbor, Florida. You can find more information at thevioletbutterflymhc.com, including the online store.